November snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. On first down, Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they'd get a sweep of the season series. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw there complete to Myers. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Eluding the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of it.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the running game with Swift. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They go play action with Wilson. And he rifles one incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Handoff here to Nwangu. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Back to Nwangu again on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. Play action. Now Wilson. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because it's just what you described. They ran at the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear a coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Rodgers' throw taken in by Hockenson here. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for Detroit. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
Yeah, and the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the 17, Rodgers hooking up over the middle with Herndon. And in for the Lions touchdown. Chris Herndon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. An extra point by Nagar is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7.
Lions 10, Vikings 7. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that... Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And they can't bring him down. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St. Juste. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On the draw, it's Nwangu. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see it where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Touchdown, Vikings! And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers escaping the pressure right. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. But when he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And that's taken in. It's B.C. Johnson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 34-yard line.
Now a give running right, Nwangu. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Stopping at the 32-yard line. A gain of 2 makes it 3rd down and
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He gets this one to Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run with Pearman. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Wilson. Drops this off with Nwangu. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
That's a letdown defensively because they had him stacked up 3rd and long, and you know their thought process had to be just make the tackle in front of the sticks and force the 3. Instead, they allowed him room to run, and now they're facing 1st and goal, looking to regroup.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Pearman. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash here should be an easy one. The kick by Lambeau is good. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see them drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense...
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the give is Nwangu, running right through it. And he's taken down inside the 30.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Flushed out right. This will be caught just inside the 10. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Here's Wilson. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead now up to 14. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On 1st down, Swift, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. And he lost 6 there on the 1st down play. On play action, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. The CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Pearman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They go play action now. Wilson finding some room at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line.
They brought in a heavy set on third down. That usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Working from the gun, Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to bury him for a loss of 11. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. He's going to air one out. Then drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by Myers. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Lions 17.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Handoff right side to Wangu. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And that one off the mark, a little late with a throw. The Vikings send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over.
16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. On play action, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Vikings are going to have this short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Benjamin St. Just. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. He sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions.
And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point. That's the run he's been waiting for, Charles. He's been bottled up all game. That run alone got him more yards than he had in all his previous carries combined.
And don't think for a second he doesn't know that, because every back that I know can almost calculate every yard with every step that they take. He had to be frustrated because of what's happened during the game. Has to feel a lot better after that run.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously there are words that are said, and hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Minnesota, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.